Koenigsegg is the titan of hypercars. They reign supreme with a lineup of powerhouse automobiles, featuring ultra-modern technology and bold designs. Heck, the brand has a list of world records longer than my day. But one thing Koenigsegg doesn't have is a low price tag. In fact, their most affordable offering is the $1.7 million Gemera megacar. And unless you've been selling NFTs, you probably don't have that kind of cash lying around. So what if Koenigsegg, the most infamous name in the hypercar world, made something everyone could afford? It's an idea they've been exploring since 2019, when the company entered a joint venture with Swedish EV brand Nevs. We've been looking to expand our offering because basically, our brand has outgrown our production volumes by quite a big margin. If we make a super exclusive, custom-built supercar at a slightly lower price, we could get the volumes into the hundreds. Enter the Raw Design House. This is the division of Koenigsegg where exciting things happen. The birthplace of legendary creations like the Jesko Absolute and aforementioned Gemera. The small team of aerodynamic and 3D design experts, together with input from Koenigsegg himself, assembled their vision for an affordable sub-brand to the company. What would it look like, they asked, if the hypercar titan made something with a slightly more reasonable price tag? The name for this project is a rather uninspired Raw by Koenigsegg, but don't let its simplicity fool you. This prototype is just as fast as it is cheap. The Raw was drawn up by Esa Mustonen, a recent graduate from the Lahti Institute of Design. He took inspiration from a lot of different places: 70s wedge supercars, sport bikes, and even jet fighters. It's a carbon-laden behemoth of a car, with more presence than Dudley Vernon. Some of the main features include razor-thin LEDs, the signature Koenigsegg double bubble roof, and a rear diffuser which can sort of evolve. It's meant to evoke visions of an afterburner. Not to mention the reverse-hinged dihedral synchro helix super doors that Koenigsegg is so known for. Isn't that a mouthful? A common visual issue with small sports cars is how dinky and weak they look, says the design house, so it was important to find a theme that conveys mass and strength. A lot of effort went into tweaking the proportions to give the vehicle a more grown-up appearance of a true supercar. Step into the interior and you'll find the Raw has a 3-seater layout, per the request of Christian von Koenigsegg. It grants the car an unexpectedly practical aspect, but more importantly, it places the driver at the center of the car. This allowed Mustonen to create a sort of sim racing feel for the pilot. The middle seat can slide back and forth on rails, and there's a pair of retractable screens on either side of the digital display. What granted the Raw so much interior space? Well, that would be the unique powertrain. And I say unique because the Raw is sporting a pretty radical engine in the back. Unlike most hypercars, which boast the biggest and best V10, V12, and heck, even W16 motors, Koenigsegg has been taking the opposite approach with their latest projects. Both the Gemera and the Raw feature the same miniature 3-cylinder free valve unit. A 3-cylinder? Yeah, that's less displacement than your average Camry. Surely the Swedish squadron can't be serious. And yet that tiny milk carton of a motor can push an unprecedented 700 horsepower, matching the Raw's 700 kilogram curb weight for a flawless 1-to-1 ratio in true Koenigsegg style. Nicknamed the Tiny Friendly Giant, this engine is unlike any other in its lightweight construction. I'll gloss over the boring technicals here, but suffice it to say the camless twin-turbo has individual valve control and can rev to 8,500 RPM. It's brutally efficient in everything from fuel consumption to cost. Rumor has it the entire thing costs half as much to assemble as the traditional Koenigsegg V8, which would make a lot of sense considering it's also half the size. In the Gemera, this tiny friendly giant is aided by a series of electric motors to boost its performance, but in the more affordable Raw, it operates on its own in a smaller, lighter, and most importantly, cheaper system. As for now, the Raw is just a design study. It sadly only exists in the three-dimensional landscapes of Blender and the imagination of affordable exotic enthusiasts around the world. But Koenigsegg is taking real steps to bring an entry-level attainable hypercar like the Raw to market. Remember Nevs? The Swedish-Chinese company owns the remnants of Saab and merged with Koenigsegg in early 2019, with the prospect of providing resources for an affordable, mass-production supercar. Sadly, that relationship was ended in fall 2021 when Koenigsegg purchased back full ownership. But the brief partnership no doubt provided the megacar monopoly with insight and inspiration to make the Raw into reality. If you want to see more videos like this, check out some of the cards linked on screen now, and consider subscribing if you enjoy cheap supercar and one-off exotic content. You can also check out my Twitter to see pictures of my latest motorcycle adventures as well as various automotive hot takes.